Welcome to RoversTV and the KCOM Craven Park Stadium for this Round 10 Kingstone Press Championship clash between Hull Kingston Rovers and Featherstone Rovers. The team lineups for today: Hull Kingston Rovers number 1, Adam Quinlan; number 2, Ben Cockayne; number 4, Liam Salter; number 31, David Hodgson; number 5, Ryan Shaw; number 16, Jordan Abdul; number 7, Jamie Ellis; number 8, Nick Scruton; number 18, Zach Docker-Clay; number 35, Josh Johnson; number 11, Maurice Blair; number 10, Chris Clarkson; number 15, James Donaldson. On the interchange bench, 21, Robbie Mulhern; 19, George Lawler; 13, Danny Addy; 23, George Milton. Head coach is Tim Sheens. Featherstone Rovers lineup this afternoon: number 20, Kyron Johnson; 18, Scott Turner; 23, Josh Hardcastle; 3, Chris Alunya; 2, James Duckworth; 7, Anthony Thackeray; 31, Corey Aston; 10, Andy Bostock; 9, Keel Carlisle; 16, Luke Cooper; 11, Michael Knowles; 12, John Davis; 21, James Lockwood. On the interchange bench, 15, Brad Tagg; 6, Kyle Briggs; 19, Matty Wildy; and number 8, Darryl Griffin. Head coach is John Sharp. Today's referee is Scott Mikolauskas. My name's Joanne Fitzpatrick, and welcome to the KCOM Stadium, Ben Gummersall.
Good afternoon, Joanne.
So we've got 6 changes in this Featherstone Rovers team since that win against London last week. We've got Hardman and Talapapa late pull-outs with injury. We've got 2 suspended in Briscoe and Moore, and of course we've not got the Leeds players available, so Baldwinson and Aledski aren't available for Featherstone Rovers this afternoon. In are Kyron Johnson at full-back, Scott Turner on the wing, Josh Hardcastle in the centre, and there's also Kyle Briggs in there as well coming in. So quite a change about team since last week, Ben.
I think the biggest change for Rovers today is probably the loss of Ian Hardman. He's such an influential player for this Featherstone Rovers team at fullback. Obviously, he has been the captain for this season so far in the absence of Talapapa, who is also missing today. But the way Ian Hardman, for me, reads the game, his positional play, and also the way he organises his team, that's going to be a huge loss today.
Certainly is. Kyron Johnson at full-back. We do know that he's got a lot of speed. We'll have no doubt Hull KR will be peppering him with the high ball and testing him during this game, and I think it's a matter of him getting confident very early on, isn't it?
That's it. It's massive day. What a game to make his seasonal debut for Featherstone Rovers for Kyron Johnson. There's such a hostile atmosphere against what is arguably, almost without question, the best team in the division at the minute.
Probably the best supported team in the division as well. Like you say, it's a noisy atmosphere here at the KCOM Craven Park Stadium. In terms of Featherstone, then they have, they're up against it. Hull KR are top of the table. However, London have beaten Toulouse today, so that's a big bonus for Featherstone Rovers. But they've got it tough here today to make any headway on Toulouse.
They have indeed, and if Rovers can get some sort of result today, what an incentive for the Rovers team before they go out today to know that they have a chance to reclaim second spot in the table over Toulouse and give them that 2-point cushion, which with the game against Bradford on Monday, and obviously look at the fixture on Monday for Hull KR as well. They go to Toulouse as well.
They certainly do. I mean, just talking to the Hull KR commentary team up here on the gantry with us, they are saying that they've got a lot of players missing as well, at least 6 players missing, and their captain Sean Lunt isn't playing today. He's out with an infection, so they've got their injury problems as well. But a full-time team on their own ground, topping the table, it's going to be a tough one for Featherstone, isn't it?
It is, and when you look down that Hull KR team as well, you look at the likes, they've got Adam Quinlan at full-back. Ben Cockayne Rovers know all about, having played down for us for a while. But you look in the halfbacks as well, Jordan Abdul, Jamie Ellis, That's a quality half-back partnership, Joanne.
And they're both on loan as well. Jordan Abdul's on loan from Hull, Jamie Ellis on loan from Huddersfield. So they're not actually Hull KR players, but they've certainly settled well. But the New Zealand player, Zach Docker-Clay at hooker, apparently he's a good player as well and can play standoff. So we might see some change around today as Featherstone Rovers enter the field. Percy the pit pony leading them out. Daryl Griffin acting captain today in the absence of Hardman and Talapapa. Hull KR closely following. So Hull KR are playing in red this afternoon. Featherstone Rovers are playing in red this afternoon. Hull KR are playing in a kind of a Riva teal colour.
What a noise, Joanne, in this stadium this afternoon. It's absolutely fantastic, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah. The team's lining up now, just getting some photo opportunities done, and it's a great stadium, is this, isn't it? It's a fantastic viewpoint for us up here, and when you look across at the stand opposite us, it is just a sea of red and white, and it must be daunting for any team coming here this season.
Oh, absolutely, and it's not going to be an easy challenge for Featherstone Rovers today by any stretch of the imagination. I think the biggest thing for Rovers today, Joanne, is to get a good start. If we can keep them out for the first 10 minutes, get plenty possession, then we can build on that. But if Hull KR get up ahead of steam early, this could be a very long, very difficult afternoon.
Certainly will. So the ball's been placed on the tee by Corey Aston. Featherstone Rovers going to kick off first. It's going to be, as we look at it from the camera, from left to right to the open end of the stadium as Corey Aston kicks the game off this afternoon. Ahead of the Hull KR player Ryan Shaw, but the ball is managed to be gathered by them, and they're 12 metres away from their own post. Hull KR bringing it away. Good tackling there by Featherstone Rovers on that second tackle. Johnny Davis in there and Lockwood. Hull KR coming into the middle there with James Donaldson, the loose forward. And that was a good run there, made it over the 40-metre line. So Hull KR making good metres in this set of 6. That was a good drive. Comes across into the middle. Good tackling on Josh Johnson there, though, by Cooper and Lockwood. It's the last tackle, and the ball goes to Ellis. He puts it high into the air for Johnson, and Johnson collects it. What we were talking about, that confidence, that it's actually a penalty to Featherstone for offside. Well
taken by Kyron Johnson, that kick. Hull KR, as expected, Joanne, putting pressure, putting that ball high in the air early. To Kyron Johnson, his first game of the season. See how he takes it. Yes, he's been penalised. They have been penalised for offside, but credit Kyron Johnson. What a take that was.
Certainly was, and Thackeray opts to take the tap because the penalty was in the middle of the field, so he's not risking the kick to touch. So Featherstone running this ball now with Bostock. Makes it over the halfway line. In fact, he makes it just short of the Hull KR 40. That's a good drive from Bostock. Plays the ball, it comes into the middle. Cooper, who juggles the ball, but he just manages to hold on to it. 35 metres away from that Hull KR line. Misses Bostock out, comes across then to Thackeray. Thackeray with a very flat pass out to Knowles. Into the middle now with Thackeray again. Runs across the line to Aston. Aston shows it, but then gets tackled 20 metres away from the line. It's the last tackle. Comes across to Davis to the right-hand side, puts a little kick in. It's collected well, though, by Hull KR, and it looks as though it's going to be a try for Hull KR with Adam Quinlan. He's racing away the full length of the field, and he certainly gets the first score of the game.
That try has come about for Hull Kingston Rovers. Anthony Thackeray moved in at halfback on that last tackle for Featherstone Rovers. That virtually eliminated him from the kicking options. He chose to go right to Johnny Davis, who had to put the kick in. He tried to kick on the reverse angle, but it was well picked up by Adam Quinlan, one-handed, who went 70 metres down this left-hand touchline, able to get over. A dream start for Hull KR, but not what Rovers wanted. And with barely 3 minutes on the clock, it's Hull KR 4, Featherstone Rovers 0.
Yeah, the reverse kick there from it was a tight angle, wasn't it, that he was kicking it from on that right-hand side. He kicked it across, reverse angle, straight into Adam Quinlan's hands, and he just left the Featherstone Rovers defenders trailing in his wake as he ran a full 85 metres to score there.
Do you think maybe at that point, at this early in the game, you want to be turning teams round? Maybe you want, looking then at that stage, you want to be putting the ball into touch, just giving your team defensive line to set, maybe get a defensive line set up, and then you can start again.
Yeah, it's a possibility that whatever, though, it's a Hull KR score. So here's Ellis with the conversion attempt. It goes between the posts, so that's Hull KR 6, Featherstone Rovers 0. Not the start that Featherstone Rovers wanted.
So dream start for Hull KR, not what Rovers wanted at all. It's important now that Rovers, they need a good set, they need a strong defensive set here now to start again. They need to try and pin the Robins back so they can get another attacking set in that Hull KR team. They can't allow Hull KR to build up ahead of steam.
The kickoff goes out on the full from Corey Aston, so it's a penalty to Hull KR. The things go from bad to worse at the moment for Featherstone Rovers. Not the start that they were wanting. The bad starts for Featherstone Rovers persist. So the ball's being put into touch by Jordan Abdul here. And Hull KR are going to have their first attack, really, of the Featherstone Rovers line. So the tap's taken 25 metres away from that Featherstone line. The ball's played, it comes into the middle with James Donaldson. He gets tackled 10 metres away from the line. Docker Clay in at acting dummy half. He gets it into the middle with Nick Scruton. Comes out to the left with Quinlan. Quinlan passes it then to Ben Cockayne, and Ben Cockayne's dragged into touch. That's great defence by Featherstone Rovers.
Outstanding defence from Featherstone Rovers there. Ben Cockayne looked to have that yard of space on this near touch line to try and get through that gap, but three men in that tackle so quickly shut that space down, able to get him into touch importantly, and Rovers now have got a much needed set in possession, Joe.
And how important was it for Featherstone Rovers to snuff that Hull KR attack out there?
Two quick tries at this stage of the game could have been game changers this early, Joanne.
So the ball's out now at the back of the scrum, and it's a penalty to Featherstone Rovers. Hull KR were offside. Featherstone holding the ball in the scrum, as we see them so often do, and Hull KR players encroached within that 10 metres, and they've been pinged for it by the referee, Mr. Mikolauskas.
You've got your differential penalties for the game, Joanne. No,
it wasn't. It was a differential. It was a normal penalty. That was for offside, so it's been taken into touch. The tap's been taken by Carlisle to Davis. Davis 5 metres short of halfway. Comes across now to Hardcastle. Hardcastle and Turner were instrumental in putting the Cockayne into touch there, so full credit to them at that play before from Hull KR. Lockwood now over the 40-metre line. Featherstone need a good set of 6 here. Good completion, and it comes out across to Thackeray. Thackeray with a little slip pass out to Knowles. Quite a nice little pass there. So Featherstone 30 metres away from the line. Carlisle takes it, goes to Bostock. Bostock gets the ball away. It's a dodgy pass, but Luke Cooper manages to pluck it out of the air. 20 metres away, and it's the last tackle. Ball's played, it comes across now to Aston. Aston with a fast pass to Davis. Davis to Johnson, but that was an excellent tackle there by Ben Cockayne. I do believe it was on Kyron Johnson on the last tackle, so it's turnover, and Hull KR turnover on the 20, Ben.
For the second time in succession, Rovers with territory in the Hull KR 30 on the last tackle, choosing not to put the ball into touch, caught in possession on that time, turning the ball over.
Yeah, not the best end to a set of 6. That Featherstone in a good position and turning the ball over to Hull KR. It's not good decision making on the last, but Hull KR now kick it out on the full, so it's their turn to make a mistake. I think it was going for a 40-20 there, and because he kicked it just before the 40. It was quite early on in the tackle count, and a big mistake because it was well into touch, was that, went well out on the full. So Featherstone with a scrum, 40 metres away from that Hull KR line. So see what Featherstone can do with this set. Comes out to Johnson, who gets put to the floor, and he plays the ball to Alunya. Alunya in at dummy half. Fresh and bright, and makes it up to 22 metres away from the Hull KR line, and it comes up into the middle now with Thackeray. Thackeray with a short pass to Cooper. It looked a bit suspect. Cries of forward from Hull KR fans. Ball's played. It comes across to the left now to Thackeray. Thackeray to Lockwood. Lockwood to Alunya. Alunya was looking for somebody there, but the Hull KR players wrapped him up, but he's 5 metres away, so Featherstone in a good position. Comes across to Thackeray. Thackeray lays it off to Bostock. Looks like it's going to be the last tackle now. Bostock's about 8 metres away from that line. Comes into the middle with Aston. Aston puts a kick over to the right-hand side to Turner, who has to parry it back. And it's Featherstone trying to keep the ball alive here, and they do so. And it's a kick through from Aston, but there's nobody there, and Cockayne collects it and gets tackled 18 metres away from his own line.
Better from the Rovers.
And Cockayne's just knocked the ball on, so that's going to be a Featherstone scrum. So excellent result there for Featherstone Rovers.
Better last tackle option there from Rovers, keeping the ball alive well on this near side. In the end, Corey Aston putting the kick through. Maybe not the best kick in the end, but picked up from the Robins. But Rovers' strong defence forcing the error, and they've got another full set in the Robins 20, Joe.
Featherstone Rovers fans singing, shall we sing a song for you? That's fighting talk, is that, isn't it? Anyway, Aston there with putting at the scrum, 18 metres away from the Hull KR line, and it comes out to the blind side with Hardcastle. Hardcastle drives it up to 10 metres away. Good drive there from him, showing his forward abilities. It comes into the middle with Cooper. Cooper, though, gets tackled by 3 Hull KR players 8 metres away. And there's a penalty to Featherstone Rovers for not clearing the ruck. Nick Scruton was a long time getting off there.
Holds his hands up, say, what, me, sir?
Tap comes from Carlisle, and he lays it off to Cooper. Cooper drives it towards the posts. In the middle of that field, he's a couple of metres away. Excellent opportunity for Featherstone here, and it goes to Davis, who drives and tries to get it over the line, but it's just pushed back. But he's actually got it down as Davis. Davis has scored a try.
Outstanding effort from Johnny Davis. He looked to be held up. There were 4 Hull KR players around him. There were 4 Hull KR players around him then, Joanne. Looked to be pushing him back, but he showed unbelievable strength to get a hand free and get that ball down. We've had 11 minutes here at the KCOM, and it's Hull KR 6, Featherstone Rovers 4.
How John Davis got that ball down was beyond possibility, really. It looked as though he'd been pushed back. Such strength, because the Hull KR players were ready for that play, but he just managed to evade them and get the ball down over the line. Interestingly, that penalty that led to that try, the play before, there was a call from the bench for 2 points, but I do believe it was ignored, and quite rightly was it ignored by Darryl Griffin.
We've seen that before, haven't we? Rovers choosing to run tackles when the signals come out from the bench for 2 points. On that occasion, though, it has paid off. Here's Corey Aston. Aston converts the goal, so we've got 11 and a half minutes gone at the KCOM, and it's Hull KR 6, Featherstone Rovers 6.
Game on indeed. Actually, we don't know who the call came from to take that play, because Griffin's not on the field, is he? So we're not sure who's captain at the moment. Probably Thackeray, I think. Probably confident in his own abilities. He must have felt they were on a roll. So yeah, Hull KR now with the kickoff. So all square here at the KCOM Craven Park Stadium. Ball's kicked off. It goes to Kyron Johnson, who takes it, passes it to Bostock. Featherstone Rovers fans in good voice behind those sticks, behind the team. Comes across to Josh Hardcastle. Can tell that Hardcastle's really enjoying his rugby and being out there in a Featherstone Rovers shirt this afternoon. He's made a few good drives already.
He looks hungry, doesn't he, Joanne, when he's taking that ball in every time?
He certainly does, yeah. And the ball comes now into the middle with Lockwood. Lockwood makes it up to the 40-metre line, the Featherstone 40, that is. Plays the ball, it comes across to Thackeray. Thackeray kicks just before the 40. Is he going for a 40-20? It just bounces the wrong way, though, and Adam Quinlan takes it. His own line and take 20.
It was a good kick, that, from Thackeray, going for the 40-20. Bounce on it, though, and it held up, unfortunately. So, but a good chase. He was leading the chase as well, which meant the rest of his team were onside, Joanne.
Yeah, Hull KR crowd now baying for a penalty from the referee, but it's not forthcoming. And there it is now.
Listen to the ironic cheers from the Hull KR faithful on that far side.
Keil Carlisle's going, come on, Mr. Miskaleskus, what could I do? And Ben Cockayne was holding onto Keil Carlisle. The penalty. So we've got 13 minutes gone at the moment, 6-all, and Hull KR with this tap. Metres away from the Featherstone line. First drive makes it up to the 30. Into the middle now. Goes to Nick Scruton, but John Davis meets him on that 20-metre line. Yeah, with a few tackles here in that dangerous territory, and Hull KR after another penalty, and the referee tells them to get up. But that's a good drive by James Donaldson up to the 10-metre line. Across it goes to Docker Clay on a little runaround, but that's good tackling there by Anthony Thackeray. Hull KR 5 metres away. It's a quick play of the ball, and it comes out to the right, and that's Adam Quinlan's over the line, but he's held up over the line. That's excellent tackling there by Featherstone Rovers.
What an outstanding effort in defence from Featherstone Rovers. Adam Quinlan, I think it was, on that far side. World try scorer, but Rovers able to put him on his back.
And the ball comes out now. It's a full kick, but it goes, and it's caught on the full by Scott Turner. So Featherstone Rovers doing well, surviving that Hull KR onslaught. And but there's a penalty to Hull KR. Scott Turner moved, trying to play the ball. Hull KR were in at the ruck, and the referee's given a penalty on 10-metre line. That's exactly not what Featherstone Rovers were wanting after that excellent set of 6 in defence, to give a penalty away on their own 10-metre line. So Hull KR back on the attack now with Chris Clarkson. Docker Clay comes across into the middle with Abdul to Ellis. Ellis to Quinlan. Quinlan's trying to get round the back of Alunya, and he does so, lays the ball off, but then good tackling there by Featherstone Rovers. Knowles out there on that right-hand side of the Hull KR attack. So Hull KR still 5 metres away from the line. It comes into the middle. It's a pass that has to be had to be ducked for then by Jordan Abdul, but he managed to pick it up. He's got tackled though a couple of metres short. It's a short pass, and that's a try for Hull KR for Chris Clarkson. Quite a simple try there, a simple pass from dummy half to Chris Clarkson. He found the gap to go over the line. Yeah,
try there for Hull KR. From that penalty conceded by Scott Turner for an incorrect play of the ball, Hull KR spread the ball left to right. Rovers defence, left-hand edge defence, looking very strong on that far side. But the Robins bringing that ball back to the left. Had a space there for Chris Clarkson, saw the gap, able to get through it. We have had 16 and a half minutes here at the KCOM. This one, it's Hull KR 10, Featherstone Rovers 6.
Game, isn't it? That penalty was given away by Scott Turner for an incorrect play of the ball. He was appealing to the ref to say that the ruck wasn't being cleared, and he tried to move to play the ball, but the referee said no, it's that rule again, isn't it, for being pinged for moving off that mark. After Featherstone put in such a good defensive effort, tackling Quinlan over the line, but as it is, Hull KR second try of the afternoon, and Jamie Ellis with a very similar conversion attempt to the first try. Left of the uprights. Should be easy for him. Except he's missed it. So
a very kickable goal, that, Joanne.
it was. Well, Jamie Ellis equalled Liam Finn's record recently, didn't he, for consecutive goals? And I just thought that would have been an easy one for him to backheel over, but obviously not. I put the commentator's curse on him.
Do that more often, I think. He pulled it just to the left of the up on the stream. We've had 17 and a half minutes, and it's Hull KR 10, Featherstone Rovers 6.
So the kickoff comes as it's taken, and Hull KR move it up, and there's a penalty to Hull KR. Bostock and Davis slow to clear the ruck. That's not what you want to be giving away on the first play after your kickoff. So that's up the field as they take the kick to touch.
Need to be careful, Featherstone Rovers. Do I need to keep the discipline? Robbins pen back in those positions, try and get some territory back.
Certainly do, because Hull KR now are into the Featherstone Rovers half just by a metre. So the ball comes to Scruton in the middle of the field, but he's tackled easily by Lockwood and Cooper and Davis. Cross now to Chris Clarkson, who's in a half gap, but he gets hauled down 22 metres away, and it comes into the middle now with Donaldson. Donaldson 12 metres away as the sun starts to come out here at Craven Park. Oh, and there's a bob by Ellis, and Thackeray's picks it up, and Thackeray pins his ears back. He's going to get caught, but he gets it away to Duckworth. Duckworth now into the middle of the field. He dances round, he's staying sensible, but he gets the ball away to Knowles. Knowles to Aston. Aston says, go behind me, Hardcastle, and then it goes across to Turner. Turner comes into the field, though, away from that dangerous touchline, and the referee wipes the tackle out. So Featherstone Rovers 25 metres away from the Hull KR line as Hardcastle takes it forward over the 20. Featherstone in a good position here. Lockwood now 12 metres away. He gets dumped to the ground in the middle of the field. Play the ball comes to Bostock. Bostock to Thackeray. Thackeray to Knowles. Knowles looking for the offload, but not able to get it away. He's 8 metres out. Comes to Cooper in the middle, and he drives it forward as Cooper so often does. He goes hard and straight, and it comes into the middle now with Carlisle trying, but he gets tackled. Plays the ball. Comes across to Aston. Aston with a little kick over the top to Turner, but it's hit out by Cockayne, so it's going to be a dropout under the sticks.
That'll do for Featherstone Rovers. A great break from Anthony Thackeray there to set their position up in the first place. The knock on from the Robins on the Rovers 10. Thackeray making yardage into the Hull KR half. And then great play. He got the ball away. It went through the hands. And Rovers got good position. And they managed to get the force to drop out. So that was a great set for Featherstone Rovers.
It certainly was. And here we go, my favourite bit of the dropout, where there's an opposition player feigns an injury in the middle of the field. Don't you think? It's my favourite bit of the play when the dropout comes and there's always an injury feigned. I really want this rule changing. Get the dropout taken, for God's sake.
They don't like they're doing there now. You got 10 seconds to take a dropout, haven't you?
James Donaldson suddenly got a leg injury, 2 metres in the field of play. How ironic. Anyway, the dropout comes. Rant over. The dropout comes, and James Duckworth takes it, though. It bounced over the head of Thackeray, and James Duckworth took it on his own 40, and he takes it up to the halfway line. So it was a good dropout in the end, and Luke Cooper evades the first tackle, gets into the Hull KR half. Rovers now with Thackeray. Thackeray to Johnson, Johnson to Davis. Plays the ball quickly to Carlisle, who comes down this right-hand side with Aston. Aston to Carlisle, comes into the middle with Bostock, who bounces off the first. He gets the ball away to Johnson. Johnson gets the ball to Aston. Aston got nobody in support, though. He just needed somebody in support. He's hauled down a metre short. It's the last tackle, and it's a penalty to Featherstone Rovers.
Where was the support there for Corey Aston, Joanne? If they had a man on his inside shoulder, it was a walking try.
It certainly was, but it wasn't there. So Featherstone Rovers got a penalty. Corey Aston was held down, so Featherstone had Hull KR rattled a little bit in defence. And They're going to go for the 2 this time. The call's come out.
That's come from Danny Evans on the bench. Danny Evans, then as the players were deciding what to do, the signal went straight out, take the 2. It gets Rovers back to within 2 points, and we're only just into the second quarter with 18.5 minutes left. And it's Hull KR 10, Featherstone Rovers 6 with this kick to come. So a good idea maybe just to keep Rovers in touch perhaps.
It's always a difficult call, isn't it? You know, it's always good to get the points on the board, and we've seen in previous games how important that can be at the end of a game. However, there we had Hull KR on the roll, I felt a little bit, and sometimes you just think, should you just carry on that momentum? But you do get the ball back, don't you? As long as it goes dead. So Corey Aston just lining the kick up now. This penalty kick, it's about 12 metres to the right of the uprights. And it goes through the middle, so that makes it Hull KR 10, Featherstone Rovers 8.
Got a substitution for the Robins as well, as Robin Mulhern has come on for Josh Johnson. And like I say, we're just into the second quarter. We've got 17.5 left. Rovers back to within 2. And they keep in touch with Hull KR at the minute. They're doing a good job so far of the Rovers.
Certainly are. And like you said, Ben, if Corey Aston had had somebody on his shoulder there, that was excellent build-up play to what should have been a try if he'd have just had somebody there. He didn't, but Featherstone still come away with 2 points. The kickoff comes and it's taken by Scott Turner. Scott Turner drives it up to the 20-metre line. Plays the ball. Comes to Hardcastle. Hardcastle takes it a further 10 metres up the field. To Davis on this right-hand side. Again, he goes another 10. So Featherstone going up in 10s at the moment. He's up to the 40. To Aston. Aston to Cooper, but Hull KR were waiting for Cooper there. So no ground made at all. Scruton was waiting for him. So Lockwood now. Lockwood driving it up to the halfway line. It's the 5th tackle. So on the last, here's Thackeray. Thackeray drives the ball, but it goes straight into the hands of Adam Quinlan. Adam Quinlan takes the ball, but he's tackled 25 metres away from his own line.
Not the best kick there from Thackeray. We've talked about this time and time again. In a game like this, you need wee kicks to be finding the ground at least. Turning the players around, turning the opposition around. But that taken on the full by the Robins. Able to make 15 metres from. So important you find the turf with those kicks.
The new entrant onto the field, just driving it forward to halfway. James Donaldson goes back to where it was. That's a high tackle from Featherstone Rovers. Disappointing, that cost the KR under wraps, but that was a high tackle that came in. I think it was from James Lockwood.
Delayed decision there just for a couple of seconds there, did the referee.
I think it was the touch judge that maybe put a call in the air. So Hull KR not interested in any 2. Jordan Abdul kicking it to KR, going to get this tap on the Featherstone 20. Comes into the middle now with Nick Scruton. But he's wrapped up. Comes into the middle with Mulhern. And it comes across to Quinlan. That man Quinlan with a pass out to Cocaine. I'm not sure if he got the ball down. I think he did. He certainly did on this left-hand side. So that's a Hull KR try.
And a good try it was as well. Quick hands, showing the speed they've got in that blind. Working the ball out to the left through the hands of Quinlan. And it was Ben Cocaine, I think it was, over in this corner. Able to get that ball down with a dive for the touchline. That puts the Robins 6 points in front with a kick to come. We've got 15 minutes left in the first half. It's Hull KR 14, Featherstone Rovers 8.
Yeah, it was that pass from Adam Quinlan, wasn't it? It came out quickly to the left, and that really fast pass to Cocaine from Quinlan. They tried that before, but Cocaine ended up getting bundled into touch. This time there was space for him to dive into the corner, and that left-hand corner, and he managed to get the ball down.
He only needs a yard of space as well, Ben Cocaine, to find that gap, doesn't he, to get that ball down.
I think I could have scored that, to be honest, though, Ben. Maybe not. Jamie's not shaking his head at me.
Shaking head as well at that one, I'll tell you.
You've not seen me play rugby. Anyway, Jamie Ellis, unsuccessful with the conversion. It goes across the face of the goal. It was from the left-hand touch line, so difficult kick than the one he missed before. So it remains Hull KR 14, Featherstone Rovers 8, with 14 minutes left. And Featherstone Rovers going to make the first changes of the afternoon. Daryl Griffin has come on the field for Luke Cooper.
And Brad Tagg has come on as well.
Brad Tagg has come on for Andrew Bostock as well. So here's the kickoff from Carlisle. Aston even, sorry. And the ball goes 15 metres away from the line. Hull KR now. Thank you. The ball's played. It comes across into the middle with James Donaldson. He's 30 metres away from his own line. Hull KR, it's a slow play, the ball. Again, going up that middle channel. Robbie Mulhern comes across to the left-hand side now, though, with Clarkson. Clarkson fends off Aston, but Aston then comes in again and tackles him with the help of Davis. Hull KR now into the Featherstone half, 5 metres into that half. And it's a bad pass there from dummy half to Jamie Ellis, and he knocked out. Featherstone Rovers going to get the turnover here. They were looking for a quick ball out to Jamie Ellis to put that kick in on the last, but it came far too fast for him, and it went through his hands. So John Davis now going to play the ball. The turnover as Kyle Briggs enters the field. James Lockwood that's come off. So 3 new entrants for Featherstone Rovers on the field, and one of these at the moment, Daryl Griffin, takes the ball up onto the Hull KR 40. Plays the ball. It comes across to Aston. Aston to Thackeray. Thackeray to Johnson, and Johnson bounces the Hull KR attacker off and makes a few more metres forward. That was good play by Johnson. Plays the ball. It comes across now to Thackeray. Thackeray to Aston. Aston to Davis. It looked a high shot on Davis there, but referee says no. There's another push on him, though, by Mulhern, and the penalty comes to Featherstone, and that tee comes on straight away, I'm guessing, here.
Yeah, the tee is on straight away. So Rovers going to take the 2 again. Good play from Kyron Johnson, bringing that ball in field. Able to get the yardage. The ball comes across. Just looking to see how Rovers have rotated at the moment. Briggs has come on, but I think he's come on at loose forward. Lockwood has come off, so I think Kyle Briggs, has come on at loose forward. And Thackeray in the halves.
So this penalty kick, Price, just short of the Hull KR 30. So it's a kickable one for Corey Aston. Aston within 4 points of Hull KR with 11 minutes remaining. And Aston is successful with that penalty kick. So that's Hull KR 14, Featherstone Rovers 10, with the first half remaining at the KCOM Craven Park. Featherstone Rovers doing really well this afternoon to keep in touch with Hull KR. They've been matching them all the way. Just that one try separating them.
I think that's an
important... In terms of points, sorry, Ben.
I think that's an important thing, Joanne, as well, is that they are keeping in touch with them. By taking these 2 points, yes, okay, they're not getting tries, but they're keeping within touching distance.
Ellis with the kickoff, and it's miscontrolled by Johnson there, and Hull KR have knocked on. So what happened there was the kickoff came, Johnson miscontrolled it with his foot. It went forward a good 10 metres. Hull KR pounced on it, but they've knocked on. So Featherstone with a massive let-off there. They're going to get a scrum on their own 20.
And you could hear what the Hull KR fans thought of that decision as well. But what a let-off for Kyron Johnson there. Knocked on by the Robins. So Rovers with a huge let-off.
I think Hull KR fans are more frustrated because they know that it were a huge opportunity. I'm not doubting, though, that the Hull KR player did actually knock on the floor. But yeah, I think Johnson perhaps might control the kickoff next time it comes to him a little bit better than that. So Featherstone with Briggs up to his own 30-metre line. Comes into the middle with Griffin. Griffin's tackled well, though, and looks to be an injury to a Hull KR player, though, in that tackle. Comes across to the right now to Hardcastle. Hardcastle battling, trying to get up to that halfway line. He's got 3 Hull KR players round him. And Matty Wilde enters the field. Referee holds time up. I think there's a head injury to the Hull KR player. Is that one that I said in that Daryl Griffin charge earlier? I think it's actually, I thought it was his leg he was holding before, but referees just signalled it's a head injury.
Yeah, that's the signal that came from the touch judges with the physio on the field, indicating a head injury, which is why the referee stopped the clock as he did. We're inside the last 10 minutes as well. What a half hour it's been, Joanne.
Certainly has. You wouldn't want Daryl Griffin running over the top of you, would you? You know, he's a big guy, so... so Matty Wilde, as I was just saying, has entered the field. I didn't see Keal Carlisle leave, but I'm presuming that's who he's come on for. Yeah, so we've got Matty Wilde, who was really effective last week against London when he came on the field. John Sharp picked him out in the press conference for particular praise.
It made such a difference. It turned the game so much because it's a different style of play to Keal Carlisle as well. So you're forcing the opposition to adapt to a different style of play. It puts pressure on them, makes them readjust. The Hull KR player, I don't think he knows where he is at the minute. He's being withdrawn. I think it'll be a concussion interchange.
Yeah, and just in back play there, I noticed Michael Knowles shouting the Featherstone Rovers players over for a huddle. He had a chat to the Featherstone Rovers players. That's good to see. It's keeping their minds on the game, so not lacking that. I'm still not sure whether it's a leg injury that the Hull KR player's got. Anyway, he's going to leave the field.
We're limping, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's what he held first of all when Griffin ran over the top of him, to be fair. So the ball's being played now. Featherstone Rovers just inside the Hull KR half. Tag getting tackled and comes across. It's a kick from Briggs. Briggs intersects. And Ryan Shaw out there on the wing, and Ryan Shaw collects it eventually, but that's a much better kick on the last.
Superb kick from Briggs. Splitting the winger from the fullback, making the Robins retreat, take that ball, and it gives your defending chasing line chance to move up, close that space down. That's much better from Featherstone Rovers.
So Hull KR now on the attack. They're 25 metres away from their own line. It comes across to the left-hand side, and Featherstone Rovers with Wilde and Davis in the tackle, but that's a quick play, the ball, and Zach Docker-Clay bounces the Featherstone defender off there. There's a lot of Hull KR fans are shouting for something out there. We can't see what's going on, but Docker-Clay's not happy. It's the last tackle for Hull KR. Ellis kicks the ball, trying to call for a late challenge on Ellis by Alunya, but I didn't see that it was particularly late, and neither did the referee or the touch judges. Now, with the ball 35 metres away from the line, it comes to Turner in the middle of the field, and things are getting a little bit tasty out there.
Just a little bit. Chris Alunya is the man who made the challenge on the kicker, and in all fairness, he was committed to the kick, committed to the tackle. The Robins fans didn't like it, and this atmosphere is really tasty now, isn't it?
Put it this way, it weren't Ben Westwood, was it? So anyway, Daryl Griffin into the Hull KR half. Wilde makes it over the 40, up to the 30, so it's the last tackle. Wilde plays the ball, Briggs in at dummy half. It comes across to Thackeray to the left, and he puts a kick up into the air. It's a high one. Shaw's under it, though, and he takes it well. So Hull KR take that kick 18 metres away, and every time that there's a tackle now, the Hull KR fans are booing. I'm not exactly sure what they're booing at, but...
Good play from the Rovers. Chasers over on that far side, though. Duckworth and Alunya timed that tackle to perfection, let the winger hit the ground, and as soon as they did, completed the tackle. That's really good defence.
And George Lawler's entered the field for Hull KR in back play just as that was going on. So at the moment, we've got Chris Clarkson on the floor on his own 40. Ellis to Scruton. Scruton 5 metres short of halfway. Good set from Featherstone here. Comes across to Abdul on the last. Abdul with a towering kick for Duckworth to take, and Duckworth makes them a meal of it. It bounces, and then Duckworth and Johnson both go for it. Duckworth ends up with it though. So Featherstone Rovers survive, a little bit jittery in the back there with that kick, and then the referee has given a penalty to Featherstone for offside, so result for Featherstone.
These Robins fans, the frustration setting in for the Hull KR supporters, but Kyron Johnson and Scott and James Duckworth almost getting in each other's way. Duckworth took control of the situation, and Michael Knowles is the one taking that penalty for touch, and it's a good touch finder, and Rovers now are starting on their own 40, Joe.
Yeah, I think he got took a couple of St John's ambulance workers out there, did Knowles with that kick in the stand. So Featherstone Rovers with the tap there just on the 40 metre, and it was a pass that went to Aston. Aston had to reach forward for it, but he eventually got it away to Davies. It's down this right-hand channel now with Josh Hardcastle. Hardcastle just tackled a couple of metres short of the Hull KR 40. Comes across into the middle with Aston. Aston shows it, and he shows it too many times and decides to get tackled because it was too risky. He couldn't let the pass go eventually after Briggs had ran it. And Wildy now with a kick from dummy half. Goes behind Quinlan, it's bobbling around, and the chase is there from Wildy and from Hardcastle, and they tackle Quinlan on his own 10 metre line.
Another good kick there from Matthew Wildy this time, again finding the ground, turning the Hull KR team around.
And there go the Hull KR fans again, shouting for a penalty. 5 minutes left in this half. It's Hull KR 14, Featherstone Rovers 10. So Featherstone Rovers now tackling Danny Addy, who's on the field as well. And Cocaine's coming for a bit of the action, and it's the lasso. The ball goes up in the air, it goes high to Johnson. Johnson takes it. Perhaps not the classic textbook style of taking a high kick, but he managed to take it safely. It comes into the middle now with Duckworth.
The main thing is, Joanna did take that ball, took it well, another dangerous high kick.
It comes to Alunya now. Alunya 5 metres short of the 40. Plays the ball, Wildy. Wildy to Briggs. Briggs over the 40. Briggs is away, but he's got nobody with him at the moment. He has now, but he doesn't. He feigns the pass, and then he gets it to Knowles. Knowles out to the left to Duckworth. Duckworth amazing is over. Duckworth, what's a try for Featherstone Rovers? That is
absolutely superb try for Featherstone Rovers. Kyle Briggs with the break through the line. He looked to have blown the chance for a minute. He had Johnson on his inside shoulder, chose not to pass, held on to the ball. Instead, he got the ball, long pass out to Knowles on the left. Knowles took on the line, he spread the ball out wider to Duckworth, and Duckworth able to cut back inside that Robins defence and get over the line. And would you believe it, Joanne, we've got 3 minutes left in the first half, and Rovers, Hull KR 14, Featherstone 14. If Rovers kick this, they could go in at half-time in front.
We've got Alunya and Briggs looking a bit crook in back play there. We want them fit and healthy for that second half. The physio's put his thumbs up for them both. But that is try of the month for April right there. What a great try that was. Starting off with Kyle Briggs with that break. Here's Corey Aston now. He's about 8 metres in from that left-hand touchline. It's a difficult one for him. And he's missed it, as you can hear from the cheers from the Hull Kingston Rovers fans. So it remains all square here. Hull KR 14, Featherstone Rovers 14, with 2 minutes to half-time. Featherstone Rovers fans on their feet down to our left-hand side, singing loud and proud. Good to hear. They're liking what they're seeing this afternoon, the fight and the spirit from this beleaguered Featherstone Rovers side.
Try of the month. I think you mean try of the season.
Oh, we won't go that far. There's a long way to go yet. There's lots of good action to see. Anyway, Hull KR kicked the ball. Johnson looking a little bit nervy with it again. He didn't know where it had gone. He tried to trap the ball. He was looking around, but he's picked it up safely in the end. Comes across now. Hardcastle takes it up to his own 20-metre line. Hull KR fans screaming for a knock-on at that play of the ball, but again, not seen anything out there. So Griffin takes it up to the 30, plays the ball to Davis. Davis finds a gap. Little half break, but he gets wrapped up by Chris Clarkson, and then the ball comes to Wildy. Wildy to Tag. Tag evades the first tackles from Hull KR. Hull KR dropping off the tackles a little bit here as it's the fifth, and it comes across to Thackeray. Thackeray gets it out to Knowles. Knowles puts a kick over the top of Shaw. It buzzes over Shaw again, and the ball's lost, and Shaw's going to get tackled over the line.
What a kick from Michael Knowles. We said again about the options that the Rovers have got. Michael Knowles takes so much pressure off those halfbacks, Joanne, with his kicking game, and that was a superb kick again over the top of that Robins defence, and in the end forcing a dropout.
Hull KR were expecting Thackeray to kick them, weren't they? It came out to Thackeray, and Thackeray passed it to Knowles, and he put that delightful little kick over the top. Caused Ryan Shaw lots of problems. It bounced over his head first of all, and ended up juggling with it and got tackled over the line. So Hull KR with the dropout now. It's a good dropout though, and it goes over the Featherstone 40. It's an enormous dropout, so Featherstone having to bring it in now with Brad Tagg, who takes it over the halfway line. Hull KR all over Tagg. Griffin now 40 metres away. What I was going to say in that set of six just before as well, Hull KR were bouncing off the Featherstone attackers. They weren't making that first tackle, that first impact count, so Featherstone looking quite strong at the moment. So Tagg here now again, 25 metres away from the Hull KR line, and there's a half-time hooter. So Aston looking to drop, but Hull KR chase him down, goes over to Davis. Davis puts a kick in, and Hardcastle tried to put a kick in, but he kicks it into touch. So an exciting end to the first half. It's all square. It's Hull KR 14, Featherstone Rovers 14, Ben.
What's the first half of rugby league we've seen, Joanne? A lot more than a lot of travelling Featherstone Rovers fans maybe will have been hoping for. But Rovers, out this team at the minute, worked so hard for each other. It started off so well for Hull KR, though, with a try in the opening couple of minutes for Quinlan, which Jamie Ellis goal to give them a perfect 6-0 lead. And then from the next set, the ball had found Cockayne from the next Hull KR set, and he was tackled into touch. At that point, you're fearing the worst for Rovers. But Hull KR kicked out on the full. And then Johnny Davis went in for a try. That was converted by Aston after 10 minutes, and it was all square at 6-all. Hull KR were then held up over the line just before the quarter hour before Chris Clarkson went over for their second try. That wasn't converted. Then Rovers got a penalty for Corey Aston, which pulled them back to within 2 points before Ben Cockayne able to get over in the corner. That wasn't converted, so that made it 14-8. Corey Aston then kicked another penalty to make it 14-10 before the try of the month. We've called it the try of the month so far. They could still see a better one for James Duckworth that wasn't converted. Michael Knowles had a great kick over the top to force a dropout. Rovers couldn't make anything of that. But what a first half of rugby league we've seen, Joanne.
Oh, totally enjoyable was that, wasn't it? We're loving our Featherstone Rovers rugby at the moment. It was great to watch against London last week, and it's certainly been an enjoyable first half this week as well. So, like I say, a beleaguered Featherstone Rovers team. A lot of not first-time team choice players out there, and they've done magnificently, really, against the full-time Hull KR squad.
Well, we seem to see that. We had a similar sort of situation at Rovers where there were a lot more. We had the beleaguered team, at Bradford, in the Challenge Cup. But we saw a similar sort of performance from the Rovers team then. There seems when you see them down with a beleaguered team, it seems to almost lift the players that come in. They're wanting to prove a point to John Sharp and say, look, we know what your team is, but we want you to pick. I want you to pick me.
I think there's a lot as well, though, about the team spirit at Featherstone Rovers, and no matter what team is put out there, that they want to play for each other. They want to play for the club as well, and whoever it is that's playing out there, be they a Featherstone Rovers player, be they a Leeds Dual Reg player, and of course it's all Featherstone Rovers signed players out there today, so it's a true test of the mettle of the original Featherstone Rovers squad. But even when you look at that, there's some people out with suspension and injury, isn't there, that would normally be in that first team.
Karen Johnson's impressed me at times in that first half as well. Under the kick, he's handled the kicks that Hull have put in well.
Going to have a drink at the moment and a bit of refreshment. I suggest you do the same, and we'll be back in a few minutes here at the KCOM Craven Park Stadium for the second half. Don't go away.
Welcome back to this. Welcome back to the second half here at the KCOM Stadium. Hull KR 14, Featherstone Rovers 14. What a performance from the Rovers of Featherstone in that first half. To hold the Robins the way they did, Joanne. The superb effort from the Rovers team. And they're going to get the first use of the ball in the second half. I think the message from John Sharp's simply been more of the same, please.
Yeah, I think that Featherstone Rovers did finish the strongest team in that first half. Like I said, they were bouncing the Hull KR defenders off on that first impact and looking pretty good. And Hull KR were looking a little bit tired, dare I say. But they've had a half-time break now as the kickoff comes in the second half from Ellis to Featherstone Rovers out on that right-hand side. And Griffin drives the first ball in up to the 20.
So Griffin then will play that ball. The ball's worked inside. Here's Briggs, takes that ball in. And the ball's been lost. So the Robins are going to get an early possession. Looks like a clash of heads maybe there. So the referee calls time off.
Yeah, he's injured there. So the ball came out to Hull KR, and that's why he dropped the ball, because of his injury. It looks like, as you say, Ben, a head injury down there, and physio straight on having a look at him.
Not the start that Rovers will have wanted into this second half. The doctors come out as well to have a look at the Rovers player who is down. There's the Robins player just getting treatment as well. He's on his feet now. He looks to be okay. The Robins will get possession from this turnover.
Josh Hardcastle down there on the floor. We just had a look, and let's hope he has a speedy recovery out there, because the doctor and physio both looking at him, and like we say, that's why the ball did come out. It's very unfortunate for Featherstone Rovers that they lose the ball in that manner, but the ball is going to be played sort of 25 metres away from the Featherstone line, so not a good way for the ball to come out, and not good to be spilling the possession there.
Still on the ground is Josh Hardcastle, still getting some treatment. He is moving around, which is good. The doctor and the physio are both with him. Is that a thumbs up from the doctor? I think it's a thumbs up
from the doctor. Juan Ballesteros. Man Juan says yay.
From where?
The man Juan Ballesteros. He say yes.
Yep, so Josh Hardcastle is up on his feet. He is okay to continue. The Robins are going to get a restart on this, though, and an early chance for that them to put some pressure on. So the ball is played, and here comes that first drive in for the Robins. It's Robbie Mulhern. He will play the ball on the 20. Ball's worked in field again. That's good play from George Lawler this time. 12 metres out centre field under those sticks in the Rovers 20. He plays the ball. The ball's back out to Mulhern. Through the hands it goes. A show and go step inside from Jamie Ellis, but well tackled. Brad Tagg involved. And Darryl Griffin. Right this time. Through the hands we are over on this wing. And it's the Robins that are over with Ryan Shaw, Joanne.
Yeah, the ball just came out to the right quite simply to that man. Adam Quinlan came into the line, the fullback once again. Ball came out to Ryan Shaw. He just stepped inside. It was one-on-one against James Duckworth, and he was able to just get over the line quite easily out there on that flank, on that right flank. So Hull KR with the early start. It was unfortunate the way that Hull KR got the possession in that area of the field. It's Hull KR 18, Featherstone Rovers 14 after only a couple of minutes of this second half being played. Like I say, unfortunate the manner in which possession was gifted to Hull KR, and from that mistake, and after Josh Hardcastle had received treatment for his head injury, it came out to the right-hand side, and Ryan Shaw's got the first score of that second half.
Just to start, the Robins will have wanted as well coming out in this second half. Rovers will have wanted to try and contain the Robins for as long as they could. But Rovers have shown in this first half, Joanne, that the Robins have never really been that far ahead of the Rovers in terms of being on the score sheet. If Rovers can get the next score, they can keep in this game. And Jamie Ellis now. Conversion 1 metre in from this right-hand touchline. There's the kick. He's pulled it across the face again, though. So no conversion. We're a couple of minutes into the second half. And it's Hull KR 18, Featherstone Rovers 14.
So it's up to Featherstone Rovers now to put that behind them. It's only a 4-point gap and get the heads together and take this kick off and come up with a good defensive set.
So Corey Aston's going to put the ball on the tee. Referee not happy with the position of it, says you need to put it on the halfway line. So here's the kickoff from Aston. It's Lowell on the ground. Oh, it's a great kickoff. And the Robins not able to take it. They've knocked on from the kickoff.
Ben Cockayne there came for the ball. As you were saying, it was bobbling along the ground. It had a bit of spin on it from Aston. Cockayne came running forward to take it, and it bounced off his chest and through his hands, and he's knocked on. So Featherstone Rovers going to get the scrum 15 metres away from the Hull KR line. What a great position to be in.
You're just taking the words right out of my mouth there. The scrum is fed, so Wildy then finds Thackeray to Alunya. Alunya steps inside, but he's well tackled by Robbie Mulhern. He will play the ball now to Matty Wildy. Wildy finds Darryl Griffin. Griffin charges forward. His tackle 5 metres short. He's right under sticks. Wildy again now. Finds Kyle Briggs. Juggles it, but manages to hold on. Does well to hold on. Wildy. Aston sees a gap. But it's well closed quickly by the Robins there. Adam Quinlan it was with the tackle. And there's a kick through early from Briggs. It's taken by the Robins. A good chase from Thackeray. And Rovers are forced to drop out, Joanne.
Hull KR were a good couple of metres offside at that play of the ball on this left-hand side. The ones that tackled Briggs when he put that kick in, it should have been a penalty really, but it wasn't. Briggs put the kick on it, dribbled along the floor. Good chase by Thackeray, though, to tackle Hull KR behind the line, so the dropout is going to come. Seen quite a few dropouts from Hull KR. Jordan Abdul has got a big boot on him, and he's getting them well over the halfway line when he took the first half ones, and here it comes. He's not got quite the distance on it this time, makes it up to the 40 to Michael Knowles.
Knowles gets to about, almost makes it to the 20. So a good first drive from Michael Knowles. Alunya acts in halfback. He'll find Duckworth, who drives that ball in. Duckworth tackled on the 20. Great opportunity for Rovers now. Wildy moves it into Thackeray in field. Thackeray takes on that line. Gets 10 metres away, wins the penalty. Now, are Rovers going to follow suit as they did in the first half? Yes, they are.
Brian Kellett's busy with that tee this afternoon, isn't he? He's getting plenty of exercise bringing it on. So the 2, yes, straight in front of the sticks.
I was just thinking as Hull KR missed the conversion to their last try, Joanne. They've missed a lot of kicks this afternoon. And could they live to rue those missed conversions that they've had?
Only time will tell.
So Corey Aston is in front of the sticks.
Chris Alunya just receiving a little bit more treatment out there underneath us. He received some treatment just before half-time hooter went, just as Featherstone Rovers went in for that late try.
So Aston then 10 metres out in front of the sticks. The flags go up, the kick is good, and Rovers are back to within 2. We've had 5.5 minutes of this second half, and it's Hull KR 18, Featherstone Rovers 16.
Yeah, Aston there with a penalty kick. Of course, that came from that Briggs grubber along the floor that Thackeray chased well to force the dropout, and Rovers came up with the good drives forward after that dropout was taken, and then got that penalty under the stick. So kick-off being taken. The referee not happy with where Jamie Ellis has put his kicking tee. He's asking him to move it a little bit.
At least he's being consistent. He made Rovers do that when they kicked off. He's done the same to them.
Inches make all the difference, Ben.
Well, so they say. Kick-off then is taken by Johnson, and here's that first drive now from Darryl Griffin. A good first drive as well. Makes it just short of the 20 now. Plays the ball to Wildy. Wildy passes in field to Brad Tagg. Wildy again comes left. Here's Kyle Briggs again. Briggs gets over the 30. Thackeray now goes across the line, moves it out to Davis. Davis moves it out further. Out on that far side now with Scott Turner. Turner plays the ball to Davis, coming back this way now. Here's Brad Tagg. Gets over halfway. Here's the last tackle. 5 metres inside the Robins half. Featherstone Rovers. Here's Thackeray. He'll put that ball in the air. Oh, it's a howler again. Anthony Thackeray with a great kick. But Hull KR not able to take it. It's Ryan Shaw this time, Joanne.
I think it was the Featherstone fans behind him there that put him off. They were baying, they were bashing anything they could and shouting right behind Ryan Shaw, and he didn't look confident taking that ball, and it went straight through his hands. So Featherstone Rovers with the scrum, 15 metres away from that Hull KR line.
An opportunity for more points here. Darryl Griffin is doing a great job out there, speaking to the teammates around him, organising them how he wants them. What an opportunity this is for Rovers now. Down the short side we go with Chris Alunya. He's tackled 8 metres away. Ball swung in field to Briggs. Briggs finds Brad Tagg now. We're going to see Luke Cooper back in a moment. Thackeray. Thackeray. Through the hands it goes of Aston to Davis now. But Johnny Davis has knocked the ball on. So Rovers turn possession over 8 metres out from the Robins line.
Disappointing end to that set of 6 for Featherstone Rovers. Johnny Davis knocking on in the tackle 8 metres away from the Hull KR line. Such an excellent opportunity for Featherstone Rovers to put some score on the board and perhaps get the noses in front for the first time in this game. Wasn't to be though, so Hull KR going to get this scrum 10 metres, 8-9 metres away from their own line.
So it's Brad Tagg who's come off for Luke Cooper. The Robins out to the base of that scrum. Rovers fans wanting a knock on at the base of the scrum.
No, I think they were after offside there, Ben. Thought Michael Knowles, who did the tackle, similar to how Hull KR got pinged in the first half. I think they were hoping for an offside decision. It wasn't to come though, so Hull KR with the ball 25 metres away, 30 metres away from their own line, driving it forward.
Josh Johnson has returned for the Robins, and they are about 35 metres out. What a hit from Briggs, the ball's come loose. Michael Knowles with a free play, puts the kick over the top. The ball's picked up by Shaw this time, it'll come back for the scrum.
What a tackle by Kyle Briggs there. Kyle Briggs, excellent play. Superb tackle he came in with there and rattled the Hull KR player and made him drop the ball.
So Rovers with another opportunity. They're on the scrum is set just inside the Robins 40.
Excellent opportunity once again, and Featherstone Rovers putting pressure on Hull KR. Need to convert this pressure into points now.
So Aston now finds Chris Alunya. Alunya drives that ball in. Rovers 35 out, centre field. Matthew Wildy waits. Here's Darryl Griffin, gets over the 30. And the Robins are penned for offside. And the Rovers going to go through again. The kicking tee is straight on.
Come on,
and
Brian.
This will level up the scores, Joanne.
Bryce Elliott on with the kicking tee yet again. And Featherstone going to go for 2 to try and level these scores up. Hull KR fans disgruntled with that, but why not? Points mean prizes in this game, don't they? And Featherstone Rovers with this kick under the sticks, 22 metres away from those uprights, and we've had 11 minutes of this second half gone. It's currently Hull KR 18, Featherstone 16.
So Cody Aston 22 metres out centre field, smack bang in front of those sticks. Straight between, and we're all square. And says 11 minutes into this second half. It's now Hull KR 18, Featherstone Rovers 18, Joanne.
Yeah, certainly it came from that Kyle Briggs opportunity to have that play. It's all about having possession and territories this game, and Featherstone Rovers are doing that with the defensive hits they're putting in and just rattling Hull KR a little bit as they take this kick off. It goes over to the left. By Johnson, who lays it off to Griffin, and Griffin takes it over the Featherstone 20.
So Griffin then will play that ball. Here goes John Davis now. Back on for Rovers, he drives that ball in as well. It's a good drive, he gets just short of the 40. And there's a kick from Aston early. That's a great kick from Aston. Has it got too much on it? It's held up. It's held up brilliantly, and Quinlan has to return it. What a kick, Joanne, from Corey Aston.
Great chase as well there by Alunya Thackeray. They could have got penalised. They've not, though, and Hull KR fans baying for blood out there. I think he's actually going for a 40-20 was Aston. He didn't quite get the angle on it, but whatever, it's still a very good kick, and to turn ball over in that area of the field and let Hull KR bring it out. And actually, that should be a penalty to Featherstone Rovers. Correct play by the ref, because Ben Cockayne, was it out there? He was hanging on to Michael Knowles as Michael Knowles was trying to clear the ruck. Cockayne held on to Michael Knowles, and quite rightly, the referee has penalised Hull KR. That was silly play by Ben Cockayne, but good for Featherstone. Knowles giving Cockayne a little bit of afters, refs having a chat with him about it. Hull KR fans not happy, but the referee got that exactly right. I could see it from here.
And Rovers not kicking this one. They're going to run this one. With Anthony Thackeray takes that first drive in. Pushed back well by the Robins. Where's the support?
Like a game of rugby union there.
Matty Wildy sees a gap, he's through it. This is away. Kyle Briggs wakes it, taps in half now. Finds Darryl Griffin. Griffin to Aston. Johnny Davis now bounces off one. Wildy finds Aston again now. Aston to Thackeray. Thackeray inside pass to Knowles. But good tackle. Michael Knowles has lost. And now Michael Knowles is penalised. Joanne.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange decision that maybe. A bit of Maurice Blair. I thought he'd had a second go at Michael Knowles, but obviously not. I think Knowles must have been trying to milk something. Referee went, "Soz mate, I'm going to penalise you there." So Hull KR with the penalty on their own 10 metre this afternoon.
Oh, this is really boiling up, is this one nicely. The atmosphere in the stadium, folks, is absolutely fantastic. And here are the Robins now. Up to halfway, a Hull Kingston Rovers, but good defence from Featherstone Rovers. We've had 14 minutes in the second half. It's Hull KR 18, Featherstone Rovers 18. And the Robins are just shy of the Rovers 40 now. Through the hands it goes. It's worked out to that left-hand side. Here's Quinlan. Works that ball out wide, but good Rovers defence, able to get across there. Quick play of the ball though, and the Robins going to the 20 from Jordan Abdul. The ball is played. Here's Ellis. Now he'll put a kick in for the corner. Rovers, Featherstone Rovers, that is, able to shepherd that ball out, and it'll be a tap restart on the 20.
Great play by Scott Turner. Watched that ball. He could have panicked. He didn't. He watched that ball go over the dead ball line, enabling Featherstone Rovers to get that 20-metre tap and saving the dropout.
So here come Featherstone Rovers now. Here's Kyron Johnson. He plays that ball, and Darryl Griffin now will drive that ball in. It's a good drive as well. I think that may be his last drive of this spell. He's going to be withdrawn in a moment. Andy Bostock's coming back on. Here's Thackeray now to Michael Knowles. And Knowles is on the 40, plays that ball to Wildy. Here's Thackeray now. Thackeray to Alunya, steps inside, but good defence from the Robins. Wildy, Thackeray now, finds Cooper. Here's the last tackle, says the referee. Massey Wildy waits. Thackeray now. He'll dink one over the top towards those sticks. It's bounced off the sticks. And it's been knocked on, I think, from Featherstone.
Need to be careful here, Featherstone. They're going for the quick tapper, Hull KR, but the
Referee calls.
Called time off. Oh.
Featherstone Rovers actually knocked that ball on in the act of trying to score.
In the field of play.
So
that's the difference, isn't it?
Yeah. The Rovers play was a yard in the field of play. Therefore, when he knocked that ball forward, Joanne, it's actually a scrum down, not a restart.
Yeah, it was just in the field of play, wasn't it? Can understand the OKR fans not happy with that, but it was actually in the field of play when that knock-on came. So Hull KR not with the 20-metre tap. They've got a 10-metre scrum instead. They're asking for offside at the scrum again. They held it up and they've got a penalty for that. Featherstone, John Davis just encroaching within the 10-metre because Hull KR had actually Featherstone Rovers had encroached because Hull KR kept it in the scrum. So we saw an identical one that Featherstone did to Hull KR in the first half.
It's been consistent with Mr. Michalowskis. I'll say one thing for him.
Certainly has. It's just got a little bit scrappy there, wasn't it, the last few minutes with penalties and things like that. But Hull KR with the possession at the moment.
Just 5 metres shy of halfway in their own half, Hull KR. So the ball through the hands of Abdul. He brings that ball back in field to Chris Clarkson on halfway. So Robins now in the Rovers half, but good tackle. Here's now Durka Johnson. Durka Johnson waits. He takes that ball from outside half. He moves it in field. So Nick Scruton on the last tackle. So Jamie Ellis puts that kick over. Karen Johnson reads it well, takes it well, returns that ball back well as well.
Certainly did, yeah. Karen Johnson came in for that ball, picked it up with one hand and managed to make it up to the 20-metre line. And James Duckworth still on the 20-metre with that second period of play.
So Rovers in possession just shy of their own 30. Lockwood's come back on and Kyle Briggs has gone off. Here's Chris Alunya now. Plays that ball to Wildy. Thackeray now to Cooper. Cooper's tackled a couple of metres shy of halfway. On the last tackle, says the referee. So Michael Knowles it is again, who drills that ball forward. What a kick from Michael Knowles.
Goes into touch. Just on the 10-metre line, the Hull KR 10-metre line. Excellent kick by Michael Knowles. Good game management there. Hull KR are going to have to put this ball in at the scrum on their own 10-metre, so turn them round. I'm just looking at Chris Alunya, still getting attention from the physio. He's got something wrong with his wrist at the moment, and but he's soldiering on out there. He's not yet been replaced, and Danny Evans sending the physio back on, I think, perhaps for Luke Cooper now, who looks to be struggling. So, oh no, it's Anthony Thackeray. We've got walking wounded out there at the moment. Physio just checking the scrum over in entirety, I think. As this ball goes in and Hull KR come down the blind side with it, but Thackeray wraps up the Hull KR player.
What an attendance here at Hull KR this afternoon. 8,117 here today. As Hull KR bring that ball forward now. What an attendance, Joanne.
Can only dream of figures like that at Featherstone Rovers, can't you? And I think any other championship club in the division.
Over 8,000.
It's excellent, isn't it? Good form from Hull KR fans to carry on supporting their club in the championship. Anyway, Hull KR into the Featherstone Rovers half now.
On just shy of that Rovers 40 now. There's the play the ball, it's gone left, so here's a kick. It's a good kick and Johnson underneath it. Takes that superbly, Kyron Johnson. So here's Rovers now with Scott Turner. Featherstone Rovers, that is. Ball comes left with Lockwood now. Rovers just won't go. Featherstone just won't go away, will they? Hull KR are trying everything, but just can't get through, can they?
Struggling to make the way up the field at the moment. The Hardcastle now in the middle of the field, takes it over the 40, gets the ball away though to Wildy. Wildy gets it out to Aston. Aston into the Hull Kingston Rovers half, 45 metres away from the Hull KR line.
Bostock now. Gets the ball away. Thackeray sees the gap, he's through it. Thackeray's away. Thackeray is over. Anthony Thackeray is over for the Rovers, who hit the front. It's Hull KR 18, Feathers 22.
Oh, what a fantastic try there by Anthony Thackeray. Andrew Bostock with the offload. He's so good at doing that. He created that breaking play with that offload. It come over to the left. Anthony Thackeray pinned it. He saw that gap, went through it, and he beat the Hull Kingston Rovers players to that line and managed to get over on this left-hand side. What a great try by Featherstone Rovers, and that just goes to show what perseverance can bring for you, as it's Hull KR 18, Featherstone Rovers 22, with 18 minutes of this half left.
And what absolutely superb. Just as I say to Joanne that Featherstone Rovers won't get away. A superb try from Featherstone Rovers. And Anthony Thackeray there, able to get over. Rovers hit the front. And I mentioned earlier on, Joanne, as well, as Corey Aston lines up this kick, about the missed goals from Hull KR today. They've scored 4 tries. They've only kicked 1 goal. Rovers, before that, had scored 3. Sorry, including that, scored 3. They've kicked 5 goals. And Corey Aston now has this kick lined up. There's the kick. It's just to the left of the uprights.
Inches to the left, wasn't it? That kick that unsuccessful with that conversion, but Featherstone Rovers in the lead for the first time this afternoon with 17 minutes of this game remaining. It's Hull KR 18, Featherstone Rovers 22.
Oh, what a match of rugby league we've seen this afternoon. Absolutely outstanding as Hull KR kick off. It's taken by Luke Cooper on the full, who will make 15 metres before being met by that green Hull KR wall. Wildy picks that ball up. He finds Turner now. In from the wing to take a bit of work off the forwards. Here's Lockwood now. Rovers on their own 30. Bostock has a go. Looks for the offload again. Oh, it's an intercept! It's an intercept! And the Robins are over. The Robins have hit straight back, Joanne.
And that breaks Featherstone Rovers' hearts. Does that kind of try, doesn't it? David Hodgson got hold of the ball and raced away to score the try just to the right of those uprights. Like I say, to break Featherstone Rovers' hearts. Featherstone Rovers had that lead for literally a minute.
It was a try from an interception from the passing, the ball from the play of the ball. The pass worked out to the left, but the pass was intercepted by Hodgson, who just had the pace to outstrip that Rovers defence. And like you say, when you've just got your noses in front, you want to complete your set, turn them round, Joanne. And to give away an intercept try like that, it's a killer, isn't it?
Bostock turning from hero to villain. It was Bostock who gave that offload that Hodgson got on the end of and scored that try for Hull KR. The other end of the field, it was Bostock created the broken play for Thackeray to run through. So this should be an easy kick for Jamie Ellis to put Hull KR in front. And it's those bits of play where you just go, it's a coach killer, isn't it?
It is, just when you've done all that hard work to get your noses in front. But this game is not over by any stretch of the imagination. Here's Jamie Ellis with the conversion attempt now. That one he has kicked. So The Robins hit the front again. It's Hull 24, Featherstone Rovers 22. Rovers have made a double substitution. Off come Luke Cooper and Matthew Wildy. On come Darryl Griffin.
And Cale Carlisle.
I forgot his name for a second then.
Yeah, so Aston going to take this kick-off. Again, like before, Featherstone Rovers need to calm down, keep the heads. 15 minutes of this game remaining still. It's all to play for. The kick-off comes, the ball's trapped there by Hull KR, and they bring it up to their own 20.
So Robins then. And as Rovers concede a penalty, Darryl Griffin lying on too long in the tackle. You say they need to keep the head. They're just giving them easy yards, Joe.
These kind of things are game changers, aren't they? You know, the Bostock offload, Hodgson scoring the try, and then Griffin, the newcomer, onto the field, just holding on too long in that tackle. Hull KR, though, still in their own half because that penalty kick didn't go too far. They're 5 metres inside their own half at the moment.
So on halfway now, a metre into that Featherstone Rovers half. Go Hull Kingston Rovers now. The ball's worked in field and the Robins driving that ball in, but good defence from Featherstone Rovers. We've got 14 minutes left here. Robins 24, Rovers 22. The Robins on the Rovers 30 now. Driving that ball forward is George Lawler. He gets into the Rovers 20 on that last tackle. Down the short side goes Abdul, but he's tackled, so poor decision there from the Robins on the last.
Poor play by Hull Kingston Rovers, and Davies did well. He wrapped Jordan Abdul up on that last tackle, and it's the turnover. Featherstone Rovers having to bring it from deep within their own half on that turnover, though. It was 8 metres away from their own line as Lockwood now brings it up to the 20-metre line.
So Lockwood will play that ball on his own 20 to Carlisle. Here goes Andy Bostock now. Bostock looks for the offload again to Thackeray. Thackeray gets the ball away to Johnson. Johnson brings that ball back in field, but he's tackled. Shows it and goes himself. I think Griffin may have slightly overrun Carlisle that time. Out on the full from Anthony Thackeray.
Featherstone Rovers, this last 5 minutes since they scored that try with Anthony Thackeray, this last 5 minutes since then, they seem to have done everything wrong. Just nothing is going right for them. They're making Hull KR going to get this scrum metres away from that Featherstone line, so this is a dangerous part of the game for Featherstone Rovers. They need to get the heads back on, the game heads back on, and do some better game management than what they're doing at the moment.
That's usually one of Rovers' strongest points, is the game management. Here are the Robins. Scoring this game is crucial. That's in half-back, moves that ball in field to Scruton now. 25 metres out. And here's a drive in from Josh Johnson. It's a good drive. The Robins are 15 metres away, just to the right of the sticks. Abdul, drop off pass there. But good defence from Rovers. Scruton slow to get to his feet there. Abdul again, it's a short pass, but Rovers defence holding firm. Here's that last tackle. Can they hold firm for one more tackle? It's a scoop from acting half from Docker Clay. Great defensive set for Featherstone Rovers.
Certainly was. Strange decision on the last by Hull KR again, and Featherstone Rovers getting this turn over though, and I guess Hull KR will be saying, well, you've got to bring it away from your own line, Featherstone Rovers, and that's great defence by Hull KR.
So here come the Rovers, and they're attacking down that right-hand side. And there's a penalty. Featherstone Rovers will take that very nicely, thank you, sir.
Yeah, Josh Hardcastle driving the ball forward there, and the penalty given against Hull KR. So Featherstone Rovers need to get a long, deep kick, and more importantly, make touch with it. It was
Making touch is more important than the distance, I think, with that. So Aston does that. Rovers are going to start 25 metres out. 2 balls on the field. So here goes Johnny Davis, driving that ball in. Aston now finds Thackeray to Knowles. Knowles drives that ball, gets just shy of the 40. The Rovers 40, that is. Carlisle finds Lockwood. Lockwood drives that ball in again. Rovers 5 metres shy of halfway. Aston again. Moves that ball out wide to Hardcastle. Hardcastle gets up to the Robins 40. Plays that ball. Carlisle sees the car. But it's a knock on. Josh Hardcastle says, "What, me, sir?" And the referee says, "Yes, you."
Josh Hardcastle with the play the ball there, and Cale Carlisle picked it up. I think it was an untidy play the ball, and the referee has deemed that a knock on. So Hull KR escape that Featherstone Rovers attack there, and they've ended up with a put-in at the scrum 40 metres away from their own line of Hull KR. Michael Knowles down in back play with cramp. He's been attended to while that play was going on over on the right-hand side. He's been attended to by the physio. He's back in the line now, though. Featherstone Rovers need to be careful because Hull KR have been trying to force the offside rule by keeping it in the scrum, so they do need to be careful. They don't encroach that 10, but it does come out quickly down that blind side, does the ball with Hull KR, so with David Hodgson, the try scorer.
5 metres short to halfway. Here are the Robins over halfway. What a tackle. Who else but Johnny Davis?
Excellent tackle, and it's hurt him as well. He gets up gingerly, does the Hull KR player.
So the Robins are in the Rovers half with a 2-point lead. We're into the last 10 minutes. For Featherstone Rovers 22. And that's a good drive in, but Michael Knowles involved in that tackle. Here are the Robins then, driving that ball in with Robbie Mulhern. Ellis will drill that ball for touch. He'll find touch in goal. In fact, he was going for the touchline. It went in goal.
Poor kick there by Jamie Ellis, because Featherstone Rovers will get 7 tackles from this 20-metre restart. So with this new rule, so Kyron Johnson takes that tap, makes 5 or 6 metres forward and gets tackled.
Scott Turner in attacks in half-back. Makes a good 10 metres. Makes 15 metres, in fact. He's got up to the 40, a good run. Keel Carlisle from acting half. Caught the Robins off guard, he's over halfway. Thackeray now. Drops the pass inside to Aston. Aston to Lockwood. Steps inside, twinkle toes. Lockwood gets up to the 30. Carlisle now. Thackeray inside pass to Aston over the 20. Carlisle. Bostock now. Spins in the tackle. Rovers 10 metres away. Under the sticks on the last. Thackeray now. Finds Briggs, who's put the ball down. It's picked up by Shaw, sorry. And Rovers, the chance has gone, John.
Certainly has. It was a flat, fast pass to Kyle Briggs, and he just put in. But Rovers have put the player into touch, but the referee's given a penalty. Oh, what a crucial decision by the referee. The touch judge had put his flag up, but it was deemed that Featherstone Rovers had dragged the Hull KR player into touch, so the penalty has been given. Crucial decision there.
Massive decision there. Rovers did so well to force the player into touch, but the referee had called held, so this will be a relieving penalty. Referee stopped the clock, says, hang on a minute. You take that penalty from the right spot, please.
Again, inches matter to this referee, don't they? A bit pedantic there in the grand scheme of things, you know, and dear me. So these sort of things that drive rugby league fans crazy, isn't it? You know, I mean, it wasn't a million miles away where he was taking that kick, and there's a penalty. I think the legs were lifted above the horizontal there by either Bostock or Briggs, so double penalty trouble for Featherstone Rovers, and let's hope it's not a penalty try situation with 7 minutes remaining.
7 minutes, as you say, Joanne, but the effort that Featherstone Rovers have put in today.
Yeah, 2 points between these sides. It's Hull KR 24, Featherstone Rovers 22.
So the tap will come from the Robins, grabbed by Shaw. He brings that ball into Liam Salter, who gets over that Rovers 30. Ball's brought in field. That's a good drive in again from Josh Johnson. Robins are up to the Rovers 20 now. That's another good drive in. Robbie Mulhern. So Ellis through the hands of Abdul, out wide now. Here come the Robins, but Johnny Davis again with that tackle. And what a tackle.
And Featherstone Rovers have driven player back 10 metres. John Davis in there, what a great...
So the Robins then on that last tackle now, 15 metres away. Abdul tries to get one through. It's picked up. The Robins are over. The kick through. Rovers just weren't able to, Featherstone Rovers just not able to pick it up. The ball is grounded. It's the Robins 28, the Rovers 22.
The ball ricocheted into it. Jordan Abdul on the last. Featherstone Rovers have done so well in defence there. Jordan Abdul with a innocuous kick. It ricocheted off a Featherstone Rovers player. Went straight into the arms of all. And the ball caught and went over. And that must be the game to Hull KR now with 5 minutes remaining. Featherstone Rovers 6 points behind. Jamie Ellis with the kick to come.
Blair it was with the try for the Robins. 6 point gap, like you say, Joanne, with the kick to come. We're in the last 5 minutes now. But what a monumental effort this has been from Featherstone Rovers today.
So near yet so far, I think we could say. I think still the game changer for me was that Hodgson try by Hull KR. For me, Featherstone Rovers were the better team this second half, and that just gave Hull KR, I think it broke Featherstone a little bit. After Featherstone had psychologically gone ahead and physically gone ahead in this game, it broke them. So this kick's to come from Ellis. Ellis just lining it up. And it's successful, so that puts the game beyond Featherstone Rovers. Hull KR 30, Featherstone Rovers 22.
A 2-score margin for the Robins. And is that the first time we've seen a 2-score margin this afternoon? I think it is, you know. And all credit to Featherstone Rovers there. It's been a superb effort, like we say. Aston with the short kick-off, which Rovers have come up with through Scott Turner. So Rovers have got the ball back. And there's a penalty as well.
No kicking to this time. Knowles is going to put the ball into touch. Featherstone need to take a quick tap here on this penalty and get a quick score if they've got to get anything from this game.
Briggs now sees the gap, goes for it. Well tackled, 5 metres away. We've got into the last 4 minutes now. Thackeray. Aston finds Davis. Davis tackled well by the Robins. A quick try for Rovers here, and who knows? Johnny Davis is still being held on. There's another penalty. So a quick tap from Carlisle to Andy Bostock now. Bostock tackled well by the Robins. Thackeray now finds Knowles. Knowles to Johnson. Almost away from one. Carlisle, Thackeray. Briggs gets an offload away, which is picked up by Morris Blair.
Briggs there forcing the pass. He spun round and passed the ball. It was a blind pass, and Featherstone Rovers penalised for offside now. But yeah, Briggs had the ball in hand. He spun round in the tackle. It was a blind pass that he threw out, and it went straight into the hands of Maurice Blair. He gratefully took it, and then Featherstone Rovers, like I say, were penalised for offside. So the ball's been put into touch by Abdul. And Hull KR are going to take this tap just short of halfway, so that snuffed out any chance that Featherstone Rovers had of salvaging anything from this game.
Here's Salter now, plays that ball. And the Robins on the Rovers 40 now. Good drive in there, but Carlisle involved in that tackle with Darryl Griffin. So the Robins running the angle here. Into the Rovers 30 to go. Here's Docker Clay, attacks in half. Drops that pass off to Salter. Docker Clay changes direction. He'll kick through himself and chase it. Who else is there but Johnny Davis? He has had a massive, massive game for Rovers today. He's got that ball away to Turner. Turner makes it just shy of the Rovers 40. Thackeray wanting a quick play the ball. Here's Turner. Here's Duckworth now having a turn, should I say. Briggs moves that ball on to Bostock, and there's a penalty for offside.
Quick tap needed here. Come on, Featherstone Rovers. You got a minute left. They're going for touch though with Kyle Briggs.
Points difference could be crucial this season. This
certainly could. It's still important to get the points, even though the game might have gone.
Aston now finds Griffin. Griffin on the charge. We're into the last minute on the stadium clock. Carlisle finds Briggs to Thackeray, out to Knowles. Knowles to Alunya. Knowles waits now, attacking half back. Moves it back into Thackeray. Thackeray takes on the line. Passes to nobody. Back to one, says the referee. A sweeping pass outside. It's kicked forward. Rovers with a real opportunity. The referee wiped the tackle count. He's giving a penalty.
How many penalties have we seen here with Hull KR slowing the play the ball down? And he's not taken any action, and the full-time hooter goes.
Rovers have got one tackle. Thackeray will put a kick for the corner for Alunya to chase. It's too long. That is the end of the game. It's finished here at the Craven Park at the KCOM. Hull KR 30, Featherstone 22. Over to you, Joanne.
Yes, Hull KR 30, Featherstone Rovers 22. The final score, a valiant effort from Featherstone Rovers this afternoon, keeping within one score of Hull KR until the very end of the game and going into the lead with 15 minutes left. Featherstone Rovers scoring 3 tries and 5 goals this afternoon. Hull KR, though, just too strong. They scored 6 tries and 3 goals to come out winners, and they'll remain at the top of the championship table after this round 10.
And what a game it has been as well. Absolutely outstanding effort from the Rovers this afternoon, Joanne. Every one of those players, 1 to 17, can hold their heads high.
And those Featherstone Rovers fans over to the left-hand side singing, cheering that team on. They'll be wanting those players to go over and thank them for that travelling support, because they've not stopped singing all afternoon. And let's hope that Featherstone Rovers fans will be able to come down on Easter Monday. Don't miss it. It's going to be an Easter cracker of a game. Featherstone Rovers against Bradford Bulls. If you can get down to Post Office Road, going to be an absolutely outstanding game, and cheer these Featherstone Rovers players on, because they are putting 100% effort in at the moment. They'll remain third in the table, but with Toulouse losing today, that's an excellent opportunity for Featherstone Rovers perhaps to get their noses ahead.
And when you look at the fixtures on Easter Monday as well, at the top of the table, Joanne, Hull Kingston Rovers on Monday go to Toulouse. If Featherstone Rovers can get a win against Bradford on Monday, they will be able to consolidate that top 4 spot.
They certainly will. Featherstone Rovers players are going and thanking the Featherstone Rovers fans down there. I think John Sharp will be pretty happy this afternoon. He's out there to clapping the fans and giving them the thumbs up. I think he'll be pretty happy with that performance this afternoon. Perhaps ruining the missed opportunity, but I think you can't look too much at that. I mean, you have to look at the tries scored. Hull KR did score 6 tries compared to Featherstone's 3. It was the goal kicking, like we were calling out there, that was making the difference. However, Featherstone Rovers stuck in there, and they were never too far away from Hull KR all game. And like I say, 15 minutes away from the end of the game, we were thinking we perhaps had a chance of winning it.
And how many teams this season will come to Hull KR and say with 15 minutes left to play, they're in with a chance of winning that game? You won't hear that many times this year.
You certainly won't at all. So thank you for listening this afternoon. Thank you for watching the DVD, and we'll be coming and publishing some post-match press conferences and player reactions during the week.
The full-time score here at the KCOM Stadium, Craven Park. It's finished in victory for the Robins, but what a game it's been. It's for Hull KR 30, Featherstone Rovers 22.